Today we're breaking down address mistakes that lose Bitcoin. Welcome to Bitcoin Bytes HQ, simple Bitcoin explainers. This is educational content only, not financial advice. Let's go. Your first Bitcoin transaction feels intimidating because it's the first time the training wheels come off. There's no bank approving it, no one checking your work, and no undo button if you make a mistake. That sounds risky, but it's also the point. Bitcoin gives you direct control, and once you understand the flow, sending becomes calm and repeatable. A Bitcoin transaction is simply a message that says, move value from here to there, and then asks the network to enforce it. The network checks the rules, not your intent. It does not know who you meant to pay. It only knows whether the transaction follows the shared system. That's why the most important moment happens before you click send. The first step in a first transaction is receiving a destination. On Bitcoin's base layer, that destination is a Bitcoin address. A Bitcoin address is like a mailbox number. It doesn't contain a name, and it doesn't confirm ownership. It's just a location the network knows how to deliver to. If you send Bitcoin to the wrong address, the network will still deliver it, just like mail dropped into the wrong mailbox. So this is the point where beginners need to slow down. Once you paste the address into your wallet, this is where verification comes in. Verification means confirming that the destination shown in your wallet is exactly the destination you intended to use. Start by visually comparing the address you received with the address pasted into your wallet. Check the first 4 characters, then the last 4 characters. If they don't match perfectly, you stop. No guessing, no close enough. Next, add one independent check. This means confirming the address through a second path that doesn't rely on the same screen or app. That could be asking the recipient to confirm the first and last characters through a different message, or checking the address on a second device. Independence matters because it protects you from simple mistakes, display errors, or malicious software. QR codes fit into this step as well. Scanning a QR code is convenient, but it still produces a text address. After scanning, you verify it the same way. Look at the beginning and the end. Treat the QR code like a shortcut, not a guarantee. Once you've verified the destination, the final steps are simple. You review the amount, check the fee your wallet suggests, and then you confirm and send. Fees are how the network decides which transactions to include first. You're not paying a company, you're paying the network to process your transactions sooner. Most wallets choose a reasonable fee automatically, so for a first send, you can usually trust the default. With a normal fee, most on-chain transactions confirm in about 10 minutes or less. If you choose a very low fee, it may take longer. If you want near-instant transfers, Lightning is usually the faster option. After you send, your wallet broadcasts the transaction to the network, and it becomes visible almost immediately. Most wallets let you view the transaction after you send, or you can paste the transaction ID into a public mempool explorer to see it yourself. The mempool is simply the waiting area where transactions sit before they're confirmed into a block. Watching it there doesn't change anything, but it helps you build intuition and confidence that your transaction exists and is being processed. With that full flow in mind, let's look at what beginners often misunderstand during their first send. A common misunderstanding is thinking that copy and paste makes mistakes impossible. People assume that if they didn't type the address, it must be correct. But clipboard swapping malware exists and honest paste errors still happen. That's why visual comparison is essential, even when everything feels automated. Another mistake is trusting shortened address previews. Wallets often hide the middle of the address to keep things clean. That's helpful for display, but verification means checking the same characters in the same positions across sources. A shortened view is not confirmation by itself. It's like seeing only part of a license plate and assuming it's correct. Some wallets also default to Lightning instead of on-chain Bitcoin, which can surprise first-time users. The core idea is the same, but what you verify is different. On-chain, you verify a Bitcoin address. On Lightning, you verify an invoice. A Lightning invoice includes the amount and expires after a short time, which actually reduces some risk. But the habit doesn't change.
Before you send, you confirm that what you're paying, where it's going, and what's shown in your wallet all match your intent. You might also notice that Bitcoin addresses don't all look the same. Some start with a 1, some with a 3, and many modern ones start with BC1. These are just different address formats that the network understands. Older formats still work, but newer ones are more efficient and usually cheaper to use. That's why most wallets default to BC1 today. A different format doesn't mean something is wrong. For your first transaction, the format matters less than the habit. You're verifying that the destination you were given matches what's in your wallet, regardless of how the address looks. Another misunderstanding is believing running a Bitcoin node prevents sending errors. A node verifies that transactions follow the network's rules, but it does not know your intent. It can't tell whether the destination you entered is the one you meant to use. Careful verification still matters every time. What I wish I knew when I sent my first transaction is that slowness is a feature, not a weakness. I felt pressure to get it right quickly, as if hesitation meant I didn't understand Bitcoin. The insight that changed my mental model was realizing that Bitcoin removes intermediaries, not responsibility. Taking an extra minute is part of using it correctly. Another early misconception was thinking tools would protect me automatically. The moment that clicked was realizing that Bitcoin is precise, not forgiving. The network will do exactly what you asked, even if what you asked was wrong. Once I understood that, verification stopped feeling scary and started feeling empowering. To recap, sending your first Bitcoin transaction follows a simple flow. You receive a destination, paste it carefully, verify it, and then confirm and send. On-chain, the destination is a Bitcoin address. On Lightning, it's an invoice. Address formats may look different, but they all work within the same system. After you send, you can watch the transaction in the mempool as it waits to be confirmed into a block. Verification and observation don't change the outcome, but they build confidence and good habits. A small next step is to practice this process with a tiny test send, or by watching a transaction without sending one yet, just to build the habit. That's Address Mistakes That Lose Bitcoin Simplified. If this helped, like, share, and subscribe for more Bitcoin explainers. Drop your biggest takeaway in the comments. I'd love to hear your thoughts.